reserve. He went through practice today, and he could play on Sunday against the Houston Texans, which would be a big boost for the Cleveland Browns offense. And we saw Ben Roethlisberger go out of the game yesterday in the second quarter, head to the locker room early with a knee injury, but he did come back. He did finish the game, and the Steelers don't think it's much of an issue right now, though it is the players' day off in Pittsburgh today. So Big Ben was not around to be further examined, but should not be an issue going forward, Laura.
Yeah, Adam, the Steelers showed the fighting spirit on Sunday for sure. Things got a little hairy for Pittsburgh early on. I mean, they were walking away with the 24-19 victory. It kind of felt even closer than that. You just heard what Adam mentioned about Big Ben, a little banged up in this one, and most likely had plenty of thanks for Minkah Fitzpatrick and the Steelers defense escaping with a win over the Cowboys. And man, it's hard to be an 8-0 team. 27 teams in NFL history have reached this mark before, with over half of them making it to the Super Bowl. But winning the Super Bowl, a different story for those teams. Just ask the last 9 teams to start 8-0. They each failed to win it all, including the Patriots and 49ers from last season. So, hey, something to keep an eye on, at least from the numbers standpoint. Marcus, how is it that a game like that happens? Two teams that are so unevenly matched. How does it end up going that way for the Steelers?
Well, first of all, I want to give respect to the NFL, and that's why we all love the game so much, because the degrees of separation between teams are not usually as big as the watchful eye thinks. Now, in this particular case, the Steelers were sleepwalking. All right, that's what it was. They came off a huge win, and then they get the Cowboys, and they hear us talk about it here on NFL Live. They read the press clippings. They understand that a quarterback that just showed up is about to be the starter. All of those things came into play, and I don't want to take anything away from the successful things Dallas did. Obviously, they're going to say we're going to build off of some of the things we were able to accomplish, but you saw the level when the Pittsburgh Steelers turned it on. It was a different level, different team. Ben made the throws he needed to make. Juju was clutch. The defense came up big, started getting pressure on the quarterback. So I think they were just sleepwalking, y'all.
Yeah, really quickly to your point about the Cowboys, I do want to say this. Stephen Jones said on 105.3 The Fan that Andy Dalton will be the starting quarterback when he returns from the COVID-19 list. Mike McCarthy absolutely will be back as the head coach, by the way, in 2021. But, Dan, let's get back to the Steelers. Their inability to make plays downfield, do you think that's going to haunt them eventually?
I don't like that question. You guys know that gif where it's like the defend gif where that guy like rips out the sword where all the like soldiers are coming after him? That is me,
Game
you
of
know
Thrones.
it. That is, what is it?
God.
What is it?
It's from Game of Thrones.
All right, I don't
Anyway,
believe in
Dan,
dragons.
yeah.
That is me right now with the Steelers offense because I know Mina's coming for him too. I don't see this offense as like this team that can't push the football downfield. They take their shots. Sometimes they don't hit them. They actually they're third in the NFL when it comes to DPIs for us at their wide receiver spot. But I know this. They're clutch. Like, this is Claypool right here early in the game. That's a close miss. Maybe could easily be PI. Here's another shot to Claypool downfield. Could easily be PI. They take another shot downfield to Claypool. It actually is DPI. So, like, I don't see what everyone kind of says, like, this team can't or won't or isn't willing to push the football downfield. They do. They get a bunch of PIs. They're really, really good. And I know this. They're clutch, guys. Like, find me a team in the AFC. This is a fair question. Find me a team in the AFC outside of the one in Kansas City that's got people as clutch as they do in Pittsburgh with Big Ben and Juju. No one else can claim that right now. And so, Mina, I know you're going to come at them, but I will defend that offense.
I need the Game of Thrones gif where it's Cersei drinking wine, like a huge goblet of wine. I know Dan's not going to understand the reference.
He's like, what?
Dragons aren't real?
Those deep balls, like your justification was that they were PI. They were like 10 yards overthrown, dude. Like,
they're PI.
Look, the Steelers are good. The Steelers are good, man. Like, I'm not saying they're not a great football team. I think the Chiefs are a cut above, as you agree with me, Orlovsky, but they're firmly in that next year. But I do think you saw some of the issues yesterday that could potentially cause problems down the road. A lack of explosiveness on offense, a lack of a run game, Dan, you know that that's a problem in Pittsburgh, and some of that's on the blocking. And then on defense, we were screaming at each other via text. Oh my goodness, every time the Cowboys got a wide receiver and a linebacker, and I'm sure Steelers fans at home were triggered thinking about the playoff games in like 2018-17, watching that happen. they're not a perfect team. They're a great team, but they are exploitable, and I think you saw that yesterday, and that's why it was so close.
All right, one thing that we like to do on this show is admit sometimes when we were wrong. And guys, we were all wrong about the Seahawks-Bills game, okay? Oh. Apologies to Bills Mafia. We all picked the Seahawks. The Bills put up 44 points in their win over the Seahawks. Marcus, what happened?
Well, the secondary was social distancing. That's what happened. We looked at this team, and we knew the defense was bad. We knew some of the particular issues that they had on the back end. But then they played against the San Francisco 49ers, and we was like, yo, Ken Norton has found something. Well, I was like, not everybody. Ken Norton Jr. has found something. They pressuring, they blitzing. And then they play the Buffalo Bills, and they just escort them to the end zone.
The problem was they ran into the best player on the field, and that was Josh Allen. Here's what Josh Allen did so well yesterday. Silence.
What?
Not. This is what he did so well yesterday. And when the play was there, he made it. It was a pass contest early on for this offense. And then when he needed to make plays, he made plays. He went above the X's and O's. Josh Allen was the best player on the field yesterday. He was the difference maker.
Two things can be true at the same time. Josh Allen played well, and he was also playing 7-on-7 out there. He completed 20 passes to receivers with 3 or more yards of separation. That's the first time that's happened all season. The Seahawks defense was terrible. Josh Allen was good. Both things are true. I'm going to go drink that wine that I alluded to earlier.
As you should, Mina. And listen, it was Josh Allen with a huge performance on Sunday, but it came with a heavy heart. Allen's grandmother, Patricia, died on Sunday, and he decided to play the game in her honor. Of course, got the win. Fans in Buffalo had his back. This Bills fan base is incredible. They made donations to a local children's hospital in her honor. The donations were made in $17 increments. 17, of course, is Allen's jersey number. So Oshai Children's Hospital tweeted this: Bills Mafia isn't slowing down. We've received over 3,000